we're starting off laying down, so take your time just transitioning. So close your eyes and allow your body to relax. You might notice that it takes a little time to physically and mentally transition from the roles that we juggle into just being without a role, without doing anything. So give yourself time and be gentle, noticing the mind kind of scurrying around, and that's all right. We just notice that. We don't have to change it or fix it. Allow your awareness to rest in this moment, noticing all the sensations that are unfolding. Allow the breath to come and go freely, and then allow it to be very big. Big, huge, loud breaths in through your nose. Big, huge, loud breaths out through your nose. So good to start off your practice just with breathing deeply, okay? Feeling all the belly and chest muscles expand and contract. And before we even begin to move, if we're breathing in this way, we've already begun to warm up the muscles between the ribs or between the shoulders and the hips. We've begun to warm up the rib muscles, the back muscles, belly, even the core, just with breathing deeply. Allow tension to melt off of you with each breath. Let's keep that long, slow breath, and we'll just bring in a little gentle movement. Let's start out with a nice little passive chest opener. Take your arms into cactus arms. So you'll just bend the elbow, flip the palm up, and then settle those arms in a little cactus shape on the floor. And I like to get a really nice chest opener here by picking those shoulder blades up and tucking them underneath the rib cage. It feels really nice as that rib cage gets supported up and open. So try that out. Good for those of us who work at a desk and who get cramped in the chest. So let's keep the cactus arms and bring in some lower body mobility. So once you bend your knees and slide your feet up and in by your hips here, your knees are pointed up, and we want to take the feet a bit wide. I like to take them as wide as my mat is, but you can just feel out what your hips want today. So we'll start with a gentle hip opener, simply by dropping those knees side to side. So like they're windshield wipers, let them drop out to one side, and then let them go through center and drop over to the other side. So this is really nice and slow, right? We're just really gently waking up the hips. By the way, feel free to close your eyes throughout the practice. I try very, very hard to lead with my words in such a way that even a blind person could easily take my class. So I want you to not have to look all the time to see what I'm doing, but I do give you a visual reference if you need one. Okay. Now we've started to warm up the hips a bit. We've got a nice internal and then external rotation from each hip in turn. I'm hoping you're feeling that nice opening around each hip. But what else do we have? We also have a little low back twisting here, some nice rotation in the low back. And we've also got a great bonus glute massage on the floor. So really nice for the low body. Now we're starting to warm up. Now we can start to maybe draw the knees downward a little bit more firmly if it feels good. And notice if you draw the knees downward more firmly, we get a little more stretchy, a little more release in those hips. So you're just going to feel that out. Modify when you need to. Okay. Well, next time the knees come up through center, let's pause it there and let's deepen the twist a little bit. So pick the feet up here and glue your legs together. You can keep your cactus arms. I think this feels nice. We'll stick with this. But the two legs are now fused into one leg. So keeping your cactus arms grounded to the best of your ability. Hover your knees out to the right. Okay, let the knees just hover. Notice how the left shoulder wants to come up. Do your best to press it down and look to the left. Let's bring the knees through center. You can take a breath in. Exhale as you point those knees to the left. You're going to hover them over there. Hold it right there as you press that right shoulder down and look over it to the right. Now we're going to twist like that for a few rounds. Inhale through center. Exhale, knees to the right. Look to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the left. Look right. So take a few more breaths like this. Just find your own rhythm. Maybe just kind of striking off on your own rhythm here. Remember to breathe. So we've moved the twist, right? We moved it up into your middle back. And when we turn the head and the knees away from each other, we're twisting the whole entire spine, just as twisty as we can get. Should feel really nice. Alrighty. Next time those knees come in through center. Let's pause it there. So I'm going to ask you to be a little bit playful here. Go ahead and tuck your hands behind your knees. Okay. We're going to rock and roll. So a little bit silly. It doesn't have to be perfect or graceful. I just want you to rock all the way up to a seat and then roll all the way down. Let's try it a couple times. Rock up and roll down. Just try to make it as smooth as you could. It's okay if it's choppy. Okay. Now try this. We're adding a challenge. We're adding a layer. Next time you come up, see if you could balance with your feet off the ground and try it a few more times. Come up to balance. Maybe you use your toes. Who knows? But just try it maybe one more time. Come up, feet off the ground. Now this time when you come up, see if you could just stay there, feet up or down. Hold it right here in your boat pose, okay? Navasana. In your boat pose, you have many options, but I'm gonna have us here for a moment or two, so get nice and comfy. If you need to keep hold of your knees, please do. If you wanna take the feet down, please do, okay? Those are two ways you can make it more gentle. If everything's going well, you might spice it up by reaching past your knees, but you decide if that's right for you. Okay, now I'm going to challenge your core a little bit. We're going to get a bit warm here. I want you to keep your shoulder blades off the floor. Do your best to keep your legs up, but you can touch those toes down if you need to. Take a big breath in and roll just your low back onto the floor. So the head and shoulders trying to stay up. With your exhale, you're going to roll it back up to a boat pose. You can use those knees. Let's do it again. Inhale, roll it down. Just your low back is on the floor. Exhale, roll it up to a boat pose. Let's do one more. That's a fun challenge. Inhale, roll down. Exhale, roll it up. Nice. Okay, we're going to let that boat pose go. Drop those feet down in front of you. And if you point your Knees out to one side. We can roll it over to hands and knees. Come on through. In your hands and knees. Let's take a little rest stretch just because it feels good, okay? Feels nice to take care of your wrists. So flip one hand over, palm facing up, and just gently press the top of the palm out, or the top of the hand. If one hand feels fine and it's not too intense, you can do 2 at a time, but you can also switch and just do 1 at a time if that's best for today. But I want you to roll on all the parts of the top of your hand. Okay, try to touch your thumb to each of your fingers in turn, stretching that out. And let's get the other side, palm down, fingers pointing back at you, and you're gonna peel it up and down a few times. And this is a fantastic stretch for your forearms. We're gonna be on our hands, you know, for a considerable portion of this practice in downward facing dog, hands and knees, things like that. So we want some nice wrist health. Okay, bring it back to just a regular old hands and knees here. Tuck your toes and lift your hips nice and high in the sky, okay? Downward facing dog is not quite warm yet, right? We're not super warm, so we don't have to make this posture perfect. We can walk the heels out. We can kind of move it around. So let your downward facing dog be very gentle at first. Maybe you shake your head, yes, no. Okay, now really start pedaling out the legs. Really pick one heel up as you send one heel toward the floor. Keep in mind you can always drop to your knees and take a break in a downward facing dog. I'm going to start to build us a little flow, okay? A little medium energy flow here. I'll try not to get too excited and make it too spicy, but I will offer you options to make it less spicy or more spicy as we go along. So we'll just keep it simple and just build a little flow at first. With your inhale, move your heart forward, find a plank. And with your exhale, walk to your hands. We're going to keep it real simple. You can bend your knees and hang your head here. Keep it loose in your spine. Keep those palms on the floor because it's going to be part of our flow. Okay, another inhale here, stepping back to your plank. With your exhale, press it back to down dog. See how simple that was? Let's do it again. Inhale, plank. Exhale, feet step to hands. Okay, you can let your head hang here for a moment, soften up on your wrists, bend those knees. And then we're inhaling right back to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do it again. Inhale, plank. Exhale to your hands. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Let's add on to that. Inhale, plank. Exhale to your hands. We're going to add something right here, okay? Inhale, push down into your heels. Think of rolling yourself up, pushing in down through those legs, the back body pulling you up. You might even reach your hands up high here, maybe even a little tiny back bend if it feels good to open your chest. Okay, exhale here, rolling all the way down. You can think of hinging at your hips, bending those knees, of course, down in a fold. I'm adding one more thing. With your big breath in here, come up on your fingertips. You're going to unroll your spine to look forward. You want to have your knees nice and bent here, perhaps. Maybe even using your fingers on your shins. It's really up to you, okay? We'll run that a few more times. Let's keep going. So get those palms back on the ground. Inhale to your plank. And exhale, down dog. Okay, so we just added something into our little flow. Let's try it all together. Inhale, plank. Exhale to your hands. We're going to roll up here, so ground into your feet. Inhale, roll yourself up. Lift that heart nice and high. Exhale, fold it all the way down, bending your knees, come down. Now we're gonna come up halfway. Inhale, halfway up, look forward. Put some nice weight in the front part of your foot too. And exhale, fold. Palms are down. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, down dog. Okay. Let's do that one more time. See if you can follow it. Inhale, plank. Exhale to your hands and fold. Inhale, roll it up. Heart goes high. Exhale, hinge and fold it all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, looking forward. Big fold on your exhale. Palms down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, take a few breaths here. If down dog feels like a good place to take a break, take it here. If you prefer to take the energy level down for a moment, bring it down to a child's pose. You can drop your knees, drop your hips and your head, and just take it easy. But wherever you are, I want you to take a few more breaths, okay? Notice if your body is getting warmer, okay, we're moving into kind of the heat of our warm up here, getting those tissues to be softer and ready for movement. We're gonna add one more bit to that little flow, okay? It's gonna seem familiar, we're just gonna add some more stuff in. So here goes. Back up in your downward facing dog, we'll meet, okay? Now let's see if we can move and breathe together. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale to your hands and fold. Bend those knees as much as you like. Inhale, push into your heels and roll yourself all the way up. Exhale here, we're gonna add something right here. So drop down into your squat here. You're gonna point those knees forward over your toes. Drop your hips nice and low, just as low as you wanna go. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, fold. So we just added one thing there. Inhale halfway up, looking forward. Remember this? And exhale, fold. Palms are down. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Now we're going to add something here as well. Exhale. You could drop your knees here first, okay, in your plank, or you could keep your knees lifted, but we're going to come all the way down here to the floor. So I want to squeeze those elbows in. Okay, keep the elbows squeezing in. Take a big breath in and pull back on your hands. Lift your heart a few inches off the floor. I want you to feel your back body engaging here. Okay, exhaling here, you can come up through hands and knees, and I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Okay, walk it out. Okay, we're gonna run through that sequence 2 more times with the things we added in. You'll catch all of it. I'll lead. Inhaling here, find your plank. Exhaling, walk to your hands and fold. Inhale, roll yourself up. Okay, this is where we added in that squat. Exhale, drop your hips. Think of pulling your belly button back to protect your low back and dropping that tailbone. Inhale up to stand. Exhale, this is where we fold. Halfway up for this inhale, looking forward. And exhale, fold it. Palms are down here. With your inhale, step it back to a plank. Now this is where we added in that little chaturanga, okay? All the way down to the floor on your exhale. Keep those elbows in. Inhale, back body pulls your heart up for a cobra shape. It could be little or big. And exhale, you could come up through hands and knees, or you could push it up through a plank, but we're gonna meet in a downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. We have one more round just like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna call us warm. One more round of our little warm-up flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale to your hands and fold. Inhale, roll it up, lift that heart. This is our squat. Exhale, drop the hips down into a squat. Think of pulling the belly button up and in, dropping the tailbone down. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, fold and hinge in half. On your inhale, look halfway up, unroll your spine to look forward. And exhale, fold it. Palms are down. Inhale, step it back to your plank. Now you could have your knees down for your plank, of course, but you're gonna exhale all the way down. Remember that cobra shape. Inhale, pull the heart up and open. Lift that big heart. With your exhale, I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. You can come up through hands and knees or a plank. Up in your down dog, take a few breaths. Feel free to take a break instead in a child's pose. Dropping that head, dropping those knees and hips, okay? Wherever you are, breathe deeply. Notice how you feel. Okay, we warmed the legs and arms considerably here. Should be feeling a little more fluid, a little more mobile. Okay, little heat in the body. So let's keep going. Okay, get a little twisty here. With your inhale, you're just gonna swing your right leg up in the sky. Okay, from a downward facing dog, right leg up in the sky. Think of lifting the heel without lifting the hip. With your exhale, swing that right knee forward. Hover it next to your right elbow. Okay, if you need to do this with your left knee down, then you can do that. It's the same idea, just a little more supportive. Okay, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, right leg up in the sky. Lift the heel without lifting the hip. And exhale, right knee hovers near right elbow. Option to drop the knee, to drop the left knee. One more. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, send it forward. Now hover here, knee next to elbow. Try stepping that right foot forward next to your right hand and dropping the back knee. Now, it may step forward next to your hand. It may take a few steps. No worries if it takes some time to step up there. Get yourself comfortable. Come up on your fingertips, okay? And we're gonna scooch the left knee back a little bit, just as much as you feel is okay, okay? If you need more gentleness in your hips today, you're gonna keep that back knee kind of close in under your hip. The left knee. If you are fine with allowing the hips to release toward the floor, you're gonna scooch the left knee back. So you decide. Do check out your front knee though, that right knee. Super important that we position it over that right ankle. We want to think of the right leg as a pillar, okay? Not too forward with the knee, not too far back, but right over the ankle. Once you feel stable in your lunge, use the right knee to press yourself up. And here we are in a low lunge, Anjane Asana. So go ahead and get your arms up in the air and enjoy your low lunge shape by just breathing deeply. And I just want to talk a little bit about this posture. I love this posture and I want to just share its intricacies with you. So very simple with our body. We don't have to think too hard about where to put our parts here. So we can really focus on what to do with our parts. Okay, so what I mean by that is I want you to really push both of your legs down into the floor. So you're active. It's like you're trying to lift yourself up off the floor. Now you don't need to use all of your strength to do this. You could just use a little and it would be quite effective. Just a little push down for me. And then also think of squeezing the knees inward toward each other like you would try to snap some scissors together. So think of that action between your 2 knees. Okay, hopefully you're feeling that low lunge magic working and warming your legs. Keep a nice long open neck here. Maybe one more big breath here. Perhaps if you want a spicy challenge, you tuck the back toe and lift the back knee, but it's not necessary. It's just extra spice. When you are ready to come down carefully the way you came in. Dropping those hands under your shoulders. Time to back up out of this lunge. Let's try to come out the way we came in. So tuck the left toes, that's the back toes. Lift the back knee. And with your inhale, swing that right leg back up in the air behind you, okay? 3-leg dog, stretching that right heel to the sky. Great stretch for the back of the left leg as well. And we're gonna drop that right foot next to the left, back in downward facing dog. Take a moment to walk it out. If child's pose is a better place for you to take a break, by all means, pop on down, take a little child's pose. Wherever you are, breathe. We are nice and warm, and so it's a great time for us to get into these more stretchy poses. If you came down into a resting child's pose, come on back up into your downward facing dog. We're going to go on to the other side, do a low lunge on the left. So remember, at any time, if you need less work, if it's too much down dog for you, you can drop to the right knee and do all these crunches that we're about to do with the right knee down. So a big breath in here. That left heel is going to go up in the sky without lifting the left hip. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Get as close as you can. Option, drop the right knee. Inhale, left leg in the sky. We're going to do 2 more. Exhale, send that knee forward. 1 more. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, send it forward. Now, hold here. Try your best to step that left foot next to the left hand, dropping that back knee. Okay, it may take a couple steps to get up there, not a problem. You have time. Come up on your fingertips here and scooch the back knee exactly where you want it, okay? You might want it a little closer forward to be more gentle. You might want to scoot it back and really get in to your hips today, okay? Check to make sure the left leg makes a really nice straight up and down pillar, okay? The knee over the ankle, and then you can use that leg to press yourself up. Here we are, second side. Anjaneyasana, low lunge, arms up. You might even interlace your fingers here, make a little fancy yoga gun that shoots out peace and love and sparkles, and point it behind you a bit with your long neck. Now start to activate both legs, pushing down into the ground. Just enough, just a little bit of strength goes a long way. So push down into both legs, pull the knees slightly inward, and just breathe. Another factor we want to think about here is that low back, okay? We want to keep the belly muscles strong, pulling inward toward the spine. So keep that low back safe. Always, always. Okay, if you're looking for a little extra spice for your next breath here, you're going to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee, but only if that is fun for you, not if it's not fun. Come down slowly, okay, the way you came in. Hands under shoulders. Let's come out through a 3-leg dog on this side. So tuck the back toes, hover the back knee, and inhale, sweeping that left leg up in the sky. 3-leg dog. You can kick it high if you like. Stretch out the back of the right leg. Exhale and drop that foot. Downward facing dog, all feet down. Again, you can take a child's pose break here, or you can walk it out in downward facing dog. But I'm going to flow us a little bit. So before we keep going, I'm going to put a little flow in, kind of a palate cleanser. I bet you'll jump right in. You'll be able to follow along. All right, inhaling here, find your plank. Exhale and walk to your hands. Fold here. You can bend those knees. Inhale to roll yourself all the way up. Push down into your heels. Back body pulls you up. We're going to add a squat in here. Exhaling, drop your tailbone down into a squat. Squeeze those knees together. Inhale all the way up to stand. And exhale to fold. Halfway up on your inhale. Is this familiar? Big fold on your exhale. Palms are down. Inhale to your plank. Exhale all the way down. Knees down or not, yogi's choice. Okay, inhaling here, pull your heart up and open. Now we're a little warmer, so maybe you lift that heart a little bit more. Who knows? With your exhale, I'll meet you in a downward facing dog. Come on up and back. Walk it out. Ooh. Shake it off. Okay, we're gonna take our low lunges and we're gonna kind of build on that and we're gonna add some twisting. Let's see how it goes. Inhaling here, right leg up in the sky. Exhale, right knee forward. We're gonna do this 2 more times, just like we did before. Inhale up. Exhale forward. 1 more, inhale up. Exhale forward, now hold it here. See if you could step that foot outside that right hand again. Drop the back knee again. Okay, set up the right knee over the right ankle. Press it up to your low lunge. This time we are twisting. So put your palms together in front of you. And I want you to really press on your palms. Feel your own strength, okay? You're quite strong. Okay, if you press just to where you kind of start to shake, that'd be ideal, to where your arms get a little effort in them. Keep a nice long neck for me and keep the legs active. Okay, we're gonna take the left elbow and hook it on the right knee, and you're gonna look out to the right. Okay, I'm gonna spin around to face you. So once you're in your twist, you might need to make some little variations and changes. So take your time. You have time. I'm gonna spend here quite a moment. So if you need to drop a hand on the floor, that would be an acceptable modification. Just kind of backing out a little bit, but you're still in a twist. If everything's going well, really push into those legs and try to move your hands close to your heart and try to move your heart close to your hands. Remember to breathe deeply in this powerful twist. Okay. Another thing we can always check out in this posture is we need to check out that back elbow. If you see it pointing up, I want you to take that elbow, point it down at the ground. That's going to keep your shoulder away from your ear. It's going to keep your posture on point. Just like before, if you're looking for some extra spice for your last breath here, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, perhaps even open your arms wide. The deeper you go, the deeper you breathe. So nice breath here. Remember to come out with control the same way you came in. So back on out, drop those hands under your shoulders. We're magically back in a lunge. Let's come out through a 3-leg dog again. So back knee up, inhale, right leg up in the sky, 3-leg dog, stretch it high, feels good. Exhale, right foot down, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, either child's pose or down dog. Notice your heart rate. Notice your breath rate. In your downward facing dog, remember to push the floor equally with your hands and feet. And to keep a slight squeeze between your elbows, like you're trying to hold something between your elbows. Okay, let's twist on the left side, everything the same. So inhaling, left leg in the sky, 3-leg dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, tiger curl, crunch it in. 2 more. Inhale, extend that leg. Exhale, crunch it in. 1 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, pull it in. Now hold it here. We're going to practice stepping that foot forward, dropping it outside that left hand. Drop that back knee. Coming on up to our low lunge. We've already set this up, so it should be familiar coming through. Activate the legs down and together. Arms strong, palms pushing against each other. Okay, give a nice long spine here. And then we're ready to twist. Right elbow to left knee. Hook it on there and then propel yourself to look over that left shoulder. Okay, I'll spin around to face you here. Take your time settling in. You have lots of time here to get the details to feel just right. So remember to keep those legs active. That's important, right? If we want to make the most of the posture, we've got to activate those legs down and together. And then you want your longest spine here, so lengthen head away from tailbone. And let's try to get hands to heart, heart to hands. Option for gentleness, you drop that hand, that right hand to the floor. Just take it easy. Let's check out the back elbow. It's always worth a check. Look at the back elbow. If it's pointing anywhere but down, point it down. Makes a big difference. Big breath. Wringing out your whole spine here. Spicy option to tuck the back toes, hover the back knee, perhaps open the arms nice and wide. Who knows? Wherever you are, breathe. One more breath here. Come out the way you came in, okay, with control. Spiraling back through center. End up in your lunge, okay? Let's come out through three-leg dog. So left leg up in the sky. Big breath in. And then exhale, left foot down. Downward facing dog. Take a break here in down dog, or of course, in that gentle child's pose. Notice your breath here. Okay, kind of winding up with the heat of the practice, kind of the meat and potatoes of the practice here. We're really warm, so this is an ideal time to cultivate more of a stretchy vibe or release any tension that remains in the body. So let's get nice and twisty. From here, go ahead and drop your knees. Okay, and you're just gonna sit to one side. Take your legs out in front of you. Take some windshield wipers, kind of knocking your knees from side to side. So feeling pretty warm in your legs and arms. I'm gonna venture to say, okay, great time to stretch. Next time your knees point up, let's just pause here. Okay, and you can stay leaning back, but I want you to have a long spine as you lean back and supportive arms instead of a slouchy spine and locked arms. We want long support, okay? So we're gonna allow that, I'm gonna try to be your mirror, okay? I'm gonna be your mirror. So allow the right knee to point over to the right, okay? And then we're gonna take the left foot, take it over in front of the right foot and allow the knees to point away from each other. So you're essentially doing crisscross legs. Your knees are pointing away from each other, and get your feet really close to your knees. Okay, and your one shin is crossed in front of the other. And then if it's all right, go ahead and sit up into it. So if you could sit up tall here, go ahead and sit up tall. Okay, so feeling some nice opening in the outer hip here. This is our more gentle option for this posture that I'm about to bring us into. So we're going to take the leg that's in front, okay? I think if I'm mirroring you correctly, then this will be the left leg in front. So we're going to pick up that left leg, and if it's okay, see if you could stack the left ankle on top of the right knee. If it's an absolutely no, then you just take it back on the floor, okay? And you can also lean back. So I want you to know that you have options: leaning back, left leg in front. Spicy option, left leg on top of right leg. The shins are stacked. So find a moment just to see where you want to be with this. And you can always back out if you need to. Once you are in your posture, okay, we'll go ahead and call it stacked logs pose. Your two shins, your two lower legs are stacked like logs. You're going to start to activate your legs. So no matter what position you're in, if you're leaning back, if your shins are crossed, I want you to start to activate your legs down into the floor. Kind of like when we were doing our lunge, right? And we were pushing down into the floor. Try that here. Keeping a nice flex in each foot, in each ankle. And just breathe. So we're really getting into the hips here, outer hip, the outsides of your legs. And we're going to spend some time. That's why I'm giving you lots of time to make yourself comfortable. If you want to lean into this, if you want to release even more in your hips, you're going to keep active. You're going to keep pressing the legs downward, okay? Pushing down, but you're going to start to lean forward over your legs. And you know that this is not necessary if it's not fun. It's only if it feels right that you're going to lean forward, okay? You can even start to walk your hands out away from you. Okay, I'm going to push with my fingers here so that as my fingers walk out, my hips are still pushing down. And I'm feeling a nice stretch across the back body. So if your shins are crossed here, if you're in the more gentle version, the same thing is happening. You're walking out your fingers, you're pressing those hips down and folding over your legs. Okay, you always have options to make it more gentle or more spicy. Nice release in the legs and the low back. Wherever you are, taking one more really nice big breath in. And one nice big exhale before we leave this. Then we'll start to walk the legs back, or walk the hands back up and in. And you can lean back on them here, okay? So if you have your legs stacked, awesome, you can keep them that way. If you have your shins crossed to where one shin is in front, I believe it's our left shin in front here, if I'm mirroring you correctly, you can keep just like that. But you're just going to move your knees closer together. So you're going to take your left knee and move it closer to your right knee. Now you could still have the left leg crossed in front. You could be leaning back. It's all good, okay? If you want to stack the legs, you're going to have the left knee stacked on top of the right rather than in front, okay? So same thing here. I want you to find where you are, where you want to be on that kind of spectrum. And either take it easy as you just breathe, let the hips release, or if it feels okay, sit up nice and tall. Okay, and start to activate those legs. So the knees are close. We're giving a bigger stretch in the outside of your leg, of your hips. You probably feel that. But you'll start to activate the feet and the legs pushing down. So I know it sounds like a funny thing to do, but try to push the floor down here and see how that feels in your lower body. And again, here, we're just going to be here. So I'm giving you plenty of time just to release and experiment in this posture. A cow face pose. So this is Gomukhasana, cow face pose. In this posture, we can add a little twist. So if you're able to sit up nice and tall here, okay, even if you're leaning back a little bit, nice and tall, you're going to start to look over your left shoulder. So you're looking over the shoulder of the leg that's on top, okay, building a twist. You can walk the left fingers behind you, and you can use that right hand on the top of the left knee to kind of press and deepen your twist if you want. Nice breath here. I'm going to give you some time, so close your eyes and settle in. Maybe one more breath here, really twisting to look over that back shoulder. Big inhale, big exhale. As you are ready, spiral yourself back through center. We can lean back on the hands here. Let's kick out all the legs. Oh, they're so noodly. We can windshield wiper that out. So now we're going to do that on the opposite side. Everything the same, but opposite. I will again try to mirror you. Hopefully I do it right. Okay, next time those knees point up at center, we're going to pause it right there. Okay, we're going to take the right leg crossing over the left one. So the right shin will cross over the left. We're going to try to move the feet so that they're next to the knees and the knees are next to the feet. Okay, so you could stay here leaning back a little bit if this is enough. Okay, just activating those legs downward, getting a nice stretch in your hips and your legs. If everything's cool, I want you to come up to a seat with it, see how it feels. Maybe you take that right foot. Now we want a flexed right ankle at the right angle at the ankle. So give me a nice flexed ankle, both ankles. Maybe we could stack that right foot on top of the left knee. If it's a strain, forget about it. Just cross the shins. It's still good. So wherever you are, hold it right there and just breathe. You can close your eyes. And settle into that good deep hip stretch. If you notice your ankles getting soft and floppy, activate them. Make them really sharp right angles at the ankle, okay? And start to push the legs downward into the floor. Push, 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 push down. Perhaps maybe walking those hands forward. Keeping in mind to push your hips down behind you. You can let your head fall here, kind of stretching open your back. Maybe taking one more really long, slow breath here. Right. Go ahead and bring those fingers back into center. Back on up if you folded forward. So now we're going to move into that Gomukhasana pose. So whether you have your shins crossed or stacked, same thing. You're just going to take that right leg and pull the right knee closer to the left knee. They don't have to touch. I just want them as close as you can get them, okay? So bring them nice and close, pressing that right hip down just as much as the left. And again, you can lean back here, more gentle. You can sit up tall. You can kind of decide what's best. And you don't have to worry about your ankles being flexed here anymore. Just let them be soft. So as you're ready, start to push down into the floor with those legs. Feeling them activate. That's when we can get some good hip release. So as you're ready, we'll add the twist. Okay, give your back, your torso a final wringing out. So we're going to start to look over that right shoulder. The left hand on the right knee can help out, kind of twisting. And those right fingers can creep behind you. Remember to sit up tall and breathe deeply. Maybe one more breath here. Letting your body kind of cool down. Hopefully you feel the breath and the heart have slowed down. It should feel cooler. Go ahead and untwist. You can lean back on your hands, extend your legs. They're so noodly. Give them a shake out. Let's try a slow roll down. Let's just see how it goes. So you can keep your knees pointed up, just enough so that your feet are on the floor. And then sit up so that you can reach past your knees. We're going to pull the belly button back a little bit, pointing your tailbone at your toes. Let's see if we could roll down in super slow motion. Take your time and remember to breathe. All right, as you uncurl all the way, when you reach the floor, extend your legs and arms and close your eyes. It is time to rest, and you earned it. Allow your breath to return to a very natural, uncontrolled state. Allow your body to do the same, releasing any tension or effort from your body. This is a wonderful time just to listen to your breath and notice how it feels. And to notice all the sensations that are communicated in this moment by your senses. Taking a little time just to be present and connect to the moment. it's good to take as long as you can to rest this way. So as much time as you have to rest, I recommend taking. And if you could take a nap, that would actually be the best thing. But please rest as long as you could. This is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining.